Welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Pastor Paul Steele from Bethlehem Church in Austin, Minnesota. The Bottom Line is our weekly summary of the previous Sunday's sermon. And this past Sunday, we concluded our sermon series called A Message to Proclaim, as we've talked about the importance of evangelism. Jesus has given us, the church, the task of making disciples. Disciple making is the core mission of the church. It's what we are to be doing. And disciple making begins with evangelism, telling people about the gospel. Now, the gospel is the message that God's kingdom is coming into this world through Jesus, through his life, his death, his resurrection. And that has three implications for our lives. First, it means that the corruption that is in God's good creation, that results in sickness and death and tragedy and all that, that's going to be healed. The corruption is going to be purified. We're going to have a new creation, a new heavens and a new earth. The second implication is that justice will be done, that the oppressed will be rescued and lifted up, the tyrants will be taken down. And so we look forward to that day when Jesus comes and makes everything right. And the third implication is that our sins are forgiven. Those things that we have done that keep us from having a relationship with God are taken care of. We are forgiven. And once again, we can enjoy a life connection with God, where we receive the life that we need from God. Now, on this last Sunday, we talked about how we proclaim this message through our relationships, that relationships are a core part of evangelism. And we see that in the story of Zacchaeus in Luke chapter 19. Zacchaeus is a rich tax collector, but because he's a tax collector, even though he's rich, he's on the outside because he's compromised with the enemy of Rome, and he's taking advantage of his fellow countrymen. So Zacchaeus is an outcast. He's a wealthy outcast, but he's an outcast. People don't look well on him. And Jesus comes and says, hey, Zacchaeus, I'm going to spend time with you. I'm going to come to your house. And this recognition of Jesus, of Zacchaeus, of having this relationship with him, of treating Zacchaeus as a real person, as a real man, changes Zacchaeus's life. And Zacchaeus is transformed, and he gives away what he has. He becomes compassionate. And Jesus says, hey, this is a true son of Abraham. This man trusts God like Abraham does, and salvation has come to his house. See, when we have compassion on people, when we treat them with respect, when we build a relationship with them, regardless of what the world says about them, we provide a way for us to tell them and show them what the gospel is all about. And so our big idea from Sunday is this: relationships give us the ability to share the gospel in a meaningful way. Relationships give us the ability to share the gospel in a meaningful way. Yeah, we can memorize an elevator pitch, we can do all of that, but the best way to share the gospel is to have a relationship with the other person, to let them know that you care about them, that you are their friend. That's going to give them a more openness to listening to what you have to say. And our challenge is this: to continue to pray for me, that I would have opportunities to share the gospel, that I would be bold and courageous. Just like the Apostle Paul asked for prayers, I'm asking for prayers so that I can do the work of evangelism. But I also am challenging you to start to pray for yourself, that you would have those opportunities as well. Hey, thank you for being part of Bethlehem. I'm glad that you are part of what we're doing here in Austin. Even if you can't be with us in person, remember you can join us every Sunday morning at 10:30 online on YouTube or Facebook or in person here in Austin, Minnesota, next to Ellis Middle School. If there's a prayer request you'd like me to be praying about, let me know. I'd be glad to pray for you. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and God bless.